there's a quote. The idea is to die young as late as possible. You know,
Damn,
like
but
like you want to die. It's like a very like a little paradoxical. Like what do you mean you want to die young? I think we're alive, Rakshit.
oh
So
shit. I need to get
I
into
think
the camp.
we told people that we'll upload every week. So
And
I
पहले,
think
let's
people.
start with greetings. Don't start in a bad note. Start in a good note.
Okay, namaskara,
Greetings.
Nanu Alok.
Namaskaram, namaskaram.
Namaskara,
Nan
Dumpfuck.
namaskara.
Okay, what?
Nan
Namaskara, what?
Rakshit. Nan
Rex, what
Rakshit.
is your name? Rex Bede. What is Rex Bede? Like,
It's Rex Bede. Rex Bede. It's not Bede, it's Bede.
you know, I think our last episode came out 1 month ago, and I think your song have also come out.
Amazing
How is your,
response from my audience.
how
I'm
many total
really like,
views do you have?
uh, next question,
Do you want
please.
to disclose it?
Very top secret, covert, very covert.
I'm intentionally trying to make like have a little light conversation because the topic is pretty sad, and
Damn. Please don't
so
discuss the topic so quickly. I mean, you've already
can you guess
disclosed
what
the
is?
topic.
Yeah, can you? So what is it? What is today's topic? Can you guess what are we talking about today? So, Pamela,
No.
I've actually prepared notes. I've actually
Damn.
prepared notes, for the first time in my life. I didn't even prepare notes for my exams, but
How
I'm
was it
preparing.
writing after a long while with a pen and a paper?
So, I mean, right now I'm not able to understand my own handwriting actually. So
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, what did I write here?
Damn.
But anyway,
Last thing I
okay.
want is you fucking up with what you've written, and we end up going nowhere with this
I'll
one.
I will make sure that there is something. Okay.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
are our
So
esteemed host moderator, so I believe I trust you.
I am a hacker, bro. Can't you see my description? I'm a hacker. You should trust me. I'm a hacker.
Hacker of hearts,
Okay.
heart
I
hacker.
mean, I mean, if you want to be a hacker, be a
You
hard hacker.
you're a heart hacker. I'm a heartbreaker. Probably cringe.
Shit. Oh my God, bro. But none of us have a chick
Underrated
at this point.
heartbreaker.
Yeah.
Uh,
Actually, we should change it to heart hacker and heartbreaker. That
next
should be
time.
our next time. Yeah. I'm just writing it down. This notes heart hacker and heartbreaker.
You don't have to note.
Hacker.
It's already recorded.
Okay. I will also put heart hacker comma dump in my bio. Okay. Enough of the fun. So today's topic is called death. So
Damn.
so it's the only thing that every one of us, like, or not just us, like everyone in the world would go through. You know,
Yeah, it's a
there is no
shared
there,
experience for all of us.
there is no escape from it. You know, so rich, poor, I don't know, black, white, ugly, beautiful, ugly. No, sorry, ugly, beautiful. Everyone would go through it. Okay, so the first point that I wanted to discuss is what is death like? How does it like shape our perspective on like overall life? You know, uh, like what do you if I just say the word death, what are the first thoughts that come to your mind?
I mean, as you have rightly mentioned, death is something that we all share commonly with all the living organisms, not just the human beings. And it's the only constant in your life. Your life can go up and down, success, failure, uh, happiness, sadness, but all will just culminate into you just one day not existing anymore. And then what happens
Damn.
afterwards? Your relatives. I mean, it's funny. Like you would like to think that how you. It's a very interesting thought experiment to think that, okay, what would happen if I die today, and how would my parents react, and how would my family react, my loved ones would react, my friends would react. But funny thing is, it won't matter. Once you die, nothing matters.
Correct.
Like, you won't be there, exist. You won't exist to feel the pain on others. It would be like the world has ended for you, like the universe has ended for you. And yeah, and that's my
So
initial thoughts for death. Secondly, I would say uh, the fact that you mentioned that how death affects our life. I would say it doesn't for most of the people, most of the average people, because um, even for you, like, do you even consider death? Like, lot of our decisions are made considering that we assume that our life would be um,
we would
infinite.
be alive. Yeah.
Yes, we would be alive infinite. Like the idea of death never crosses our mind. It only is like a thought experiment, but we are conditioned to feel like our life is monotonous. We'll go back to sleep. We'll wake up, and we know that we wake up today, then we'll again go back to sleep to see tomorrow. It's a given. It's an assumption
It's
that we
assumed.
carry on. Yes, it's an assumption that we carry, and the thought of death only comes when we are like we are having that near death experiences. Then we are jolted into thinking, oh shit, like in a split of second our life could have changed, or we could have just changed from existence to non-existence. So it's a I don't think death really affects. I mean, the thought of death affects our lifestyle, our life in general, our decisions that we take. A lot of times we think how to save money so that we live our 40s and 50s in a good way. But have you even given thought that are we capable enough to live till 40s and 50s? So that's also a very interesting thing to, answer that, what would you do after saving so much money when you're not even there to enjoy the life, or whatever, do with the life, whatever. So yeah, it's an
I
interesting
mean,
thought experiment.
it's kind of funny, right? You cannot prepare for it, and you cannot not prepare for it, right? I mean, like you can't be like, okay, I don't give a fuck about life no matter what happens. And you can't be like, oh my god, I might die at any moment, right? Like right now. So you can't stop living your life also. Let's say, like let's say you have to, let's say you have to go to some new country. So you probably take a flight, right? So
Hmm.
if you have a fear, oh my god, if anything happens to this plane, right, I would
Yeah.
definitely die. So like you can't be like, no, I will not take the plane. You have to take the plane, right? So it's kind of funny in that sense. Okay.
True,
I
true.
mean, you are right. And also, like, I think this being dead is like being stupid. It only affects other people, you know. So it's,
What?
you can think of, so being dead is like being stupid. It's only
Why?
only painful for others.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like
That's deep. Bars.
no, no,
Bars.
I just heard it from Ricky Gervais. So
That's
okay.
nice.
Okay, so how, okay, so on the same topic, so do you think there is a, like a meaning to life? Do you think there is a meaning to life for like anyone, like anyone does who, like you can say like, okay, Elon Musk has some meaning. I'm not saying, I'm talking about Elon Musk. Any alive being, do you think there
Hmm.
is any purpose to any of our life on this planet?
It's actually a tricky question. I mean, I would have gone to answer that, like every life has a meaning. But then I consider, your fodder, your cattle, your chickens, and all, whose only purpose of getting bread is to then, fed up and
Getting
then
slaughtered
kill them, getting
for people
slaughtered,
like us.
and then eat. So that's one thing that, like, probably their lives technically don't have meaning, which is very sad. Uh,
Okay, okay,
However,
let's stick to humans. Let's
let's
stick to humans.
sticking to humans here. So I think life has value.
Okay.
Meaning is something. It's the search of meaning itself is a purpose. Like I think no person can find their actual purpose. It's just that they are finding. It's the exploration of that purpose itself carries meaning, carries purpose. That's one thing. Secondly, because in a grand scheme of things, we are not talking about just 10, hundreds of years. We are talking like millions of years, thousands of years since humans were alive. So in that time spectrum, our life is very minuscule. So the fact that our
Okay.
life is so temporary gives it a value. Something which is scarce has more value, right? So I mean that is something which
Right.
people are not grateful for. Like people are always complaining, moaning that why am I living? Why I'm living in this era? Why things are difficult for me? But people are unable to be grateful to the fact that you're you are born with all the necessary ingredients. You have your arms, legs, your limbs intact, your eyes intact. You are in good health, and life being scarce gives it so much value that you should be grateful that another day you woke up and you are able to go on and conquer the world. Yeah, you should have that mentality. So I think that gives you meaning, I guess. And apart from that, people are finding different ways to keep their lives meaning. A lot of times it is monotonous, but as someone said, life doesn't make sense looking forward, but only makes sense when you look back to it in a retrospective way. So there will be days when there will be hardships. There will be days when it is monotonous. कि यार मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? What am I doing with my life? This 9 to 5 job, or like going to gym every day, or I don't see any
What's the
results.
point of it? Why am I
Yes,
doing
what's
this?
the point of it? Even why are we doing this podcast? We might not get any
Yeah.
views and all, but once you stretch it to like a 5 year, 10 year horizon, time horizon, and then you look back, then you will point to, okay, these were the days when I had to struggle, when I had to just, like get on with it. All those days of depression, all those days of self doubt, and then you overcome that. Even I had my days, and now I look back and cherish that, I came from that point to this point. So yeah, there are different ways you can have meaning in life, and I think death is important part. I mean, coming back to the topic, death also kind
Finally.
of gives you meaning, because it
Yeah.
constrains your life. So it's not, if it is like infinite, like permanent,
You think there
there's
is
no
beauty
point
in
of
life
doing anything.
because it is finite?
Sorry.
You think there is beauty in life because it is finite?
Exactly, that's the whole point. Like I was maintaining, the life has value because it is temporary, because it is scarce. That's why.
Like you did not exist for billions of years, right? And you are only going to exist for like 50, 60 years, which is like a blip. You can't,
Yes,
it's like a one, if earth is like,
it's
no,
not even
universe is
a blip.
like 13. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not even a blip. Yeah, even that is like a very long time. So
Mm-hmm.
so imagine
And,
like,
and
so
imagine like
what,
so many permutations and combinations took place so that you were born. Like think that way.
I mean, I know what
Like
permutation and combination took place for me to, for everyone, each one of us to get born,
no, like like our parents meeting, and you know even humanity to develop in such a way, like thousands of years of evolution. Even that is kind of lot of.
Millions.
No, I mean I think humans are not
Yeah,
since.
okay, you mean by
Okay,
human
whatever.
you mean Homo sapiens, then whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that way. But so I mean, a lot of major things have happened which changed the how
Yeah.
changed the narrative, not narrative, like changed the whole landscape of how the Earth was, and there were different milestone events which kind of changed the path where our humanity would reach, and eventually it reached here. So yeah, I mean, if you've seen the large grand scheme of things, a lot of permutations, combinations have happened so that we both exist to, make this podcast and for people to listen
Sure.
and for us to be
I
born.
mean, yeah, yeah. I will rephrase. So when I'm asking for meaning of life, right? It means like I'm trying to relate it to death. So let's say
Okay.
if I or and you or like anyone, if
Hmm.
what is the difference when you die like right now? Okay,
Hmm.
like you're dead at this point, or like you live like a you live for like 60, 70, 80 years, and you die like at that time. So like if even if I don't do anything in life, or if I
Hmm.
achieve something like
Hmm.
in this physical world, in this metaphysical world, what is the
Hmm.
significance of it? So this is like a very fundamental question of philosophy. People say,
Hmm.
why are you living? Why are you not killing yourself right now? Like, what is the
Hmm.
point of your existence? Because like if every human, like entire civilization collapsed, like everyone, let's say you Thanos like did this twice, right? Every
Hmm.
single creature is dead. So then
Hmm.
there is no difference. Universe will still go on, right? We are just
Hmm.
Earth is just this part in this galaxy or whatever in this universe. So like
Yeah.
that's what I always like ponder about it. Like why should I work hard, or why should I even do this thing? It is not going to matter anyway. That's always one thought in my brain. I mean, I still don't
Yeah.
follow on that, but yeah,
No, I get your point. So, I mean, there are two
yeah,
ways to see, and that's what I call a winner's mentality and loser's mentality. What
okay,
the basic idea that you said is 100% correct. That in the long scheme of things, it doesn't matter whether you become the richest person in the world, you become the fittest, most handsome-looking person in the world. Uh, in like a couple of generations, you won't matter, right? We won't
right,
remember. I mean, probably if you become very good, maybe, but like we don't give a fuck. We don't care about who was richest person in the world, 100 years back, 200 years back. It doesn't matter, or who
yeah,
was the
we don't even
Mr.
know,
India or whatever, right? So there are two ways of
yeah,
looking at it. One way you can see, you can say that nothing matters. So why should I even do? So that what I
yeah,
call is called a loser's mentality, and the other is like nothing matters. So I should take every risk which I feel would propel me to be a successful person, to accomplish my dreams, because any kind of judgment that I'm afraid of, any kind of backlash I'm afraid of from society, from my um, quote unquote loved ones, from my close ones, whom or any kind of people who might blame me, or I blame that they have control. I shouldn't give a damn about that, because I know that all of that, all of that so-called mental trauma and all of that shit, that doesn't matter. So I might just take the bet on myself and go on to see how things goes. If I fail, it won't matter.
that's the
But
beauty,
at
yeah,
least I would.
yeah, yeah.
But at least, yes, at least I would have in my heart that I did my 100%, and if it didn't happen, it
I
didn't happen.
I think to like just to continue, even to like prove your point, say like it's the phrase, right? Like pessimist may be right, but the optimists have more fun. So like you're right.
Yeah,
Like we
yeah,
already know one truth, like we will
yeah,
die,
yeah,
right? So you can live your life in misery. Okay, what's the point? Don't do anything. Be lazy. Be live in your comfort zone, right?
yeah,
Comfort is a slow death, right?
yeah.
Don't do anything. Don't take risks. Okay, follow whatever your parents are saying or whatever somebody else
Mm,
is saying, which does
mm,
not make sense to you, like and that would that would be a very bad way to live a life, right? Because it's not going to matter anyway. So you might as well just do what you want to do. It's not going to matter anyway, right? What's the harm? Like
mm.
it's a zero sum game.
Yes,
So you might just well has have some fun. So
exactly.
yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, just
yeah,
now you were saying this, right? I just a thought came into my mind that
yeah.
life is optimism. That's it.
Oh wow. Life in itself is optimism.
Like if as
Yeah.
long as you're optimistic, you are living. As long as you have given up and you're going with the flow, it means you're dead. So it doesn't matter you're dead biologically or whatever. But even if you're 25, 26 year old, but you have given up on your dreams, you have lost all optimism in, whatever things around you, then you are essentially dead.
I mean, there's a quote. The idea is to die young as late as possible. You know,
Damn,
like,
but
like you know, you want to die. It's like a very like little paradoxical. Like a little paradoxical. Like what do you mean you want to die young? But like it's basically like you should try to live your life as happily as like having so much fun as long as you can, right?
yes.
And
So here I think young, by young he doesn't mean age. By young he
right, yeah,
means mentally, like he's
man,
always
yeah.
curious, he's always looking to learn new things because he's hopeful that this new thing I'll learn would some way down the line it would help me, or even for the sake of just learning, he's learning, because he's hopeful that
I mean, even
things will.
physically also, right? I mean, if you do not, like, if you become lazy, if you don't, especially as a male or even as a female, if you don't work out, then you will have issues when you're
Yeah,
50, like 50, 55.
yeah,
So
true. Live
okay, so I
life,
think,
vitality, that is very important.
yeah. So overall, I think we just know, like, nobody would, I don't think, like, even asking this question, what is the meaning of life, probably does not make any sense. Like,
I
we
think
are
death,
probably asking the
death,
wrong
death
question.
gives the biggest meaning to the life, I think.
Yeah, I think if we, so I always wonder, like, if I give you a choice, like, if I give you a choice to be immortal, would you take it?
Sorry, what? Choice to be model. What?
No, 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 no. I mean, you're already immortal. Okay, I'm saying if I give you a choice that you would be immortal, you would never die, right? Would you take that deal? There is no catch. Like, you would just never die.
Hmm. It
That's a
would be
very
boring,
interesting
I guess.
thought, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, see, and okay, firstly, I'll answer your question. I mean, I think I'll get bored. I think I'll get bored.
I mean, the one downside is you will see the death of everyone that is close to you, right? Which may, I mean, I don't know.
Hmm.
I mean, but which may like send you toward depression or like, okay, what the fuck? But on the other hand, you may get new connections also, like because you are immortal. You'll meet new people, you'll get new girlfriends or whatever, 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 right? You're immortal. And like you would be able to experience, like, imagine telling some caveman living like, I don't know,
Hmm.
thousands of years ago, like, you will be able to talk like this, you will be able to call somebody on a phone, you will see their face, whatever the technological advances that we have
Hmm.
created, how it would be like 1 millionth year after today. Like, that's very exciting, like you can't even comprehend it, what would happen, right? So that's like a very, you'd be at least curious about it, because you would, the person who will exist, the rakshat, in after 1 million years, he will not have any memory of you, right? So
Yeah, true.
that's a very, I don't think that's a very easy question to answer. Like, you might say no, okay, no, I don't want, because that is giving, it's, I'm almost, we are almost, I'm almost like proving our point wrong. Like, you're saying like that because there is death, it gives meaning. But what now, this question, like, if I give you a choice to be immortal, would you take it? Like, you might say yes, yeah, no, no, no. You might say no, actually, like, no, it will become boring. Yeah, I don't know. But you may,
Hmm.
when you think about it, you might actually want to take that deal. So think about it, like,
I mean, see,
even to
lot
even
of
to
our.
our audience,
Hmm. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, right? That lot of our decisions are made because we never thought of dying, right? But there are a
right?
lot of decisions. I think I'm coming back, kind of contradicting my point, earlier point, but there are few decisions that we have to make because we know that we might die. For example, we have to decide,
Term insurance,
not those, but like between between 20 years to 30 years, we need to have a job because we know कि 40 to 50 we might not have job, or we have kids,
yeah.
and we have to die. In that sense, we have we have backtracked कि if we are dying at 70, though, so that then at around 50 we should have like enough amount to spend the next 20 years. So that way we backtrack that, okay, at 20 to 30 years we have to hustle as hard as possible, make as much money as possible. So there is this thing called, we might end up
Inbuilt.
procrastinating. Imagine
Yeah.
if I know that I won't be dying and I would be staying as fit and young as now, then I would keep neglecting my job thing or getting forward in career, because I know that I am, as long as I'm living, it's fine. I don't have any ambition because I can always push it back. I can do that next year. We are
So
making
you're
this
saying
podcast. We can make next year.
so you're saying if you become immortal, the life that you would live would be very boring and like hopeless, and uh there is a phrase, right? Like life should not be long, it should be big. So that life would be a long life, but it would not be a big life, right? uh
So it would be fun if we are immortal, but it would be like a dark playground, like it's like you're having fun, but you know that you're not supposed to have fun. It's like like you
right.
went to a park and you're playing, but you don't have anything else to do. Like, how much will you play? Like sometimes you have to feel
Yeah.
ki, what am I doing with my life? Like why am I just playing, just having fun? For example, when you're scrolling Instagram, you spend 1 hour, 2 hour, and then you start feeling, even though you're enjoying the reels, even though you are enjoying looking at such nice pictures, but then you start realizing, what am I doing with my life? But
Right.
so the thing is, if you don't have any death concept of being dead, then you don't have the concept of uh, giving stipulated timelines to, okay, these times I have to work, because I can always procrastinate. So you can end up procrastinating infinitely, because I'm not going to die. So why should I even start this podcast? Why should I even go for this job? Or why should I
Right.
make this career switch? Or why should I go for higher studies? I can do my MBA 5 years after. I can do my BTech 5 years after. Let me just chill. Let me just enjoy. So it sounds very fun in the surface, but it's
It would
actually,
not be fun.
yeah.
I think maybe I was thinking I'm actually immortal till this point. So maybe I was actually living my life like I was immortal. So
Yeah,
but
and that's the whole paradox, that we
yeah.
are having so much, like lot of people are kind of going into escapism, like lot of different things, maybe like drinking a lot or smoking a lot or whatever, and that's kind of escaping from the reality, which is that death is the biggest reality. That's it. And you're
Wow.
escaping it, like you're not sticking to your timelines, your deadlines, that by the end of this year you have to have this much stability. Not like you have to earn this much, but at least have some sense of financial stability and all of that. So with every year you should have certain goals, so that it's in retrospect from your dying age. Okay, about this year I would be dying, so from there, coming back, at what time of my life should I be focusing on this, my career, my business, my family, my children, my whatever, my retirement. So that way.
I mean, yeah, maybe you should be given a choice. You might be immortal, but you can choose, okay, to die at any point of time. So like it's like a similar thing. Okay, not it's little off topic, but like about euthanasia and like assisted
Mhm.
suicide. People who
Yeah.
want to die at this point, or even like
Yes,
what do you call
medically
that?
assisted.
Those cryo chambers, right? Some people, some rich people, they are dead physically or like medically, but they have preserved their body in the hope
Mm.
that millions of years later they would be resurrected, right? So I
Mm.
mean, what is your view on, would you support that if somebody wants to die, you know uh,
Obviously, why not?
but what if
100,
like they,
1000%.
so then do you support suicide also? Because they are also choosing to die, right? But do you think like
Yeah,
someone, let's say somebody is
you've
is
cornered me.
like, yeah, I'm putting on the spot, like somebody's 35 years old, like they just had like one big fight, maybe they had a breakup with their something happened, like some like it was a momentary thing. It was not like they always wanted to kill themselves, or they always were suffering through like a terminal illness. They had to die, like there is no cure. And like it's like, imagine somebody is like staying in a hospital bed for like 10 years, and the doctors have told you, like there is no hope, you will just stay here for 30 years. So that I can probably understand that scenario. Okay, like, okay, for that person, maybe like he or she may prefer that. Okay, I want to get rid of this pain. But somebody who's not having those issues, who can live a happy, optimistic life, as you just explained to us. So, but because of some momentary thing, he just chose to kill himself. So that is not right, right? So I don't
True,
think you
true.
would be in favor of that. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, suicide and euthanasia is completely different. At suicide, at least you have euthanasia. You don't have any option. You are saying that you have an option, but what is the use
But
of,
yeah,
of that option of living? Like you don't have any life technically. But in suicide, it's actually very tricky because I mean, obviously, I don't support suicides, but
same.
there were studies, like there are people who we tell about, like there should be suicide hotlines, and we should help, we should talk to those people. But interestingly, there are studies where it has been shown that most of those people who have done suicides, especially men, they actually went for the help. They actually, they were smiling in their last days. They were happily
Yeah, I've seen
enjoying.
that video.
Yeah, you would never get the idea that they're actually mentally depressed and all. So a lot of times, what I've understood is that a lot of times, especially for men, it's a logical conclusion based suicide. It's not like an emotional outburst that okay, I'm not feeling good, I'm feeling sad, so I should just kill. We think that it might be the case so that we can calm them down by calling and all key okay, calm down, you don't have to be so emotional about your life, and maybe they will just choose not to die. But it doesn't happen that way. It's like they have been thinking about it quite a while, and they have gone through all such case by case scenarios that okay, this is possible, this is not possible, and they see that all their like doors have been closed, and only death is the most logical solution that they can go for. So I don't know how to deal with that. I mean, uh,
I
I'm not an
mean,
expert.
mental health in men is even a bigger crisis. It's very big,
Yes, yes, and I
because
would like it's a different topic altogether. We should have a separate topic, separate podcast on that. But
definitely for, yeah.
I'll just touch that uh, male mental health is treated similarly to how females ka therapy is done, which shouldn't be done. Like male mental health should be taken care in a different way, more curated towards men, and that would help less suicides, less depression cases. That's what I wanted to say. I
Hmm.
mean, we can go further, but yeah, I'll touch it. I'll put
No,
it there
that's a
right
separate.
now. Yeah.
Hmm. So on the topic of death, right? Some people have this funda that they know they will be dead, but they want to work hard for leaving some legacy or like some
Hmm.
memory. So like,
Hustle.
what is your hustle culture, whatever? Like, so do you believe in, like, for you, like, do you want to leave a legacy, or like does it even make sense to like leave a legacy for like after you're dead? Is that a right pursuit of life to leave a legacy?
That's a very tricky question, actually. I mean, that's something which I have to think upon. Actually, I never thought it that way. Uh,
This is that podcast, bro. We ask tricky questions which nobody else
Damn.
asks. Okay.
Shit. I should have thought twice before coming to this podcast. Damn fault.
Yes, it's called the
Okay.
second life for a reason.
See, the funny thing is, our podcast name is Second. Okay, wait. I'll come. People thinking about their legacy. If thinking about legacy propels you, pushes you towards your dream, then I'm
Hmm.
totally up for it. But as we have
Right.
already discussed, it can only be means to an end. not an end. The idea of legacy should be a means to an end, not an end itself. Like there's no
It should be a
point in chasing
byproduct.
life. Hmm? Not
It should be a
byproduct.
byproduct.
It should be your fuel. It should be your fuel.
Right.
So I'm saying the chase for legacy is futile. It's worthless, I would say. Like the way we have already discussed, right? Because it won't matter. Your legacy and all won't matter
Yeah.
after two,
Yeah.
three generations. However, that concept, if it burns something inside you, that desire that I have to create a legacy, and that propels you to go for your dreams, to take that hard decisions, to make those huge big bets on your abilities, on yourself, then why not? I'm totally up for that concept. It's the way
I
that
mean,
you use
like,
that concept.
as you said, like if you keep thinking about legacy, that's probably not the right idea. But if like it's like saying, you're taking a wrong train, but you're still getting to the destination, right? So
You
like,
can use
don't
it
think
like
about,
Hmm.
yeah,
like
don't think about your creating
Ronaldo
a,
is
yeah,
using it as well, no? Our
yeah.
Christina.
Oh boy, Cristiano Ronaldo playing
Yeah.
in Saudi.
Yes. So he's
Anyway,
driven by that legacy thing.
yeah, so like it is still bringing out, like we saw one of the two, greatest players, football players of all time in our
Yes.
lifetime.
We're
So
lucky. We're
maybe he did
fortunate.
not have that drive, so he wouldn't have been that good of a player, right?
Yes.
So I
Yes.
mean, yeah, I mean, let's say like Elon Musk, right? We don't know, like, does he, maybe he's working so hard to make our life multi-planetary, right? So maybe he thinks about, okay, people will remember me, as this is my legacy. I made life. I was able to transfer humans to, Mars or Moon, whatever, right?
Mm.
So it doesn't matter what he was thinking. It would be good for humanity in long term, right? It will
Yeah.
give our species a survival chance in a
Mm.
very, like, it's very like
Yeah.
a asteroid is hitting or something, big tsunami or whatever, big, with a big earthquake.
Mm.
So yeah, so like so what you're saying, what I understood is that don't think about creating legacy. If you have to think about it, use it as a fuel to, so that you can achieve what you want to achieve in your life,
Yeah.
right? But it should not be a primary concern. Okay, I have to create this legacy. I have to create this legacy. How would
Mm.
people remember me? Then you're not actually living your life. You're more worried about what will happen after you're dead. It will not
Exactly.
matter
Yeah.
to you
That's
after you're
our point.
dead.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Like the best thing you can take away from is that in life you should not think of death. You should think of improving your process of how to reach your whatever goals is. It's the process that matters, not the end result.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I'll ask a question, Sorry,
Okay.
I'm going a bit segue, but it's kind of related because
Yeah,
you
you can ask.
brought this topic, right? So have you heard of this
Yeah.
guy named Bryan Johnson?
Bryan Johnson. Remind me, like I'm not good with names,
Okay.
but I might have seen something on
So
YouTube.
he's a multi-millionaire US based guy. I think US based.
Okay.
US based only, yeah. Multi-millionaire US based guy. He was founder of a couple of big famous startups in US. Now
Okay.
he is investing a lot of his wealth into creating something which would which he thinks would help stop the aging process.
Oh, I know a guy, doctor named David Sinclair, who is working on like the reverse aging. I know there's a doctor from,
Okay.
even from Harvard or something. He's working on this aging, but
Yeah, so
okay.
there must be people who might be doing, these, like you said, this Dr. Sinclair, and there might be other people who are doing this research and thesis regarding what are the right nutrients that you should take, what is the right habits, nocturnal habits, when you should sleep, how much water, and all of that, and how you should
Right.
measure your de- um body markers. So
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts on this guy? Like, because in a way he is also driven by this idea of creating a legacy that he will be the first person or he will be the pioneer who invented or discovered this idea of age reversibility, or probably this idea of perma existence.
I mean, I don't think he would be the pioneer, because if you you may not believe in like God, but if you read our texts, like our religious text, so the rishis, they used to live for thousands of years, right? So there might be like some truth to that. Like humans can actually live 1 thousands of years. So I
Hmm.
mean, if I don't know what is his goal, like maybe so
But those are
if he's trying to
mythological books, no? I mean, I don't know how much you can, how much
true
truth is there.
true
I mean, you can all,
I mean,
I
I
don't know.
believe all the books that have ever existed are written by humans. That's my fundamental
Yeah,
belief.
no,
Even the Bible, Jesus, Quran,
books
Gita,
books are written by humans, but the things that they mention in the books, I'm not sure
they may not be. They may be fictional,
how
like
true they are.
Superman, like Stanley, right? Comic books or whatever. They are fictional, right?
It's a reason they're called mythologies, right? Because it's myth. You cannot say that you have any data regarding people living so many, like, thousands of years. So in that way, I would say Mr. Johnson seems to be a pioneer of modern technologies affecting aging process in humans.
I mean, yeah, it would. It's like you can think about Einstein also, right? He gave us the theory of relativity. He gave us a
Hmm.
theory of relativity, right? So we not. I mean, we don't think about Einstein like every second of our life. Oh my God,
Hmm.
somebody did
Yeah.
this, but the
Hmm.
applications of his work is being used even today. Like it would be keep on we use, like we will
Uh,
keep on using the
but
application forever. So
for example, Tesla, we
yeah,
talk about Tesla a lot,
yeah,
right? Tesla, the person,
not
Nikola
many
Tesla.
people know. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So funny thing is, when he was alive, he was treated as shit. So we giving him so much love at today's age, how does it matter for him? Like, it doesn't matter to him.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't think he was ever
That's,
driven by I want to leave a legacy. Some people are
yeah.
like they just want to as maybe he also read, maybe he listened to this podcast in past. Like
Mm.
he came to 2023. He listened to this podcast and went back and then was like, oh shit, I don't give a fuck about death. I need to do whatever I want to do. So he invented a bunch of shit. He
Mm.
didn't want to live a legacy. He didn't care about legacy. Like for me personally, I want to be forgotten, which I most likely would be anyway. But I don't want to leave any legacy. I don't
But
care.
it's funny, I mean, again, coming back to what you said, death, is it even death if we just die? Like, we'll still be existing in this podcast, on YouTube,
I mean,
on
yeah,
audio material, video material, our photos will be there. So someone, I think in a fiction book I read somewhere that, like, you're not dead till the ever, like, every existing thing, like that voice clip that you sent, or that photo of yours uh, in an album somewhere, is not totally, obliterated from the
erased.
world, destroyed from the world. You're still alive in some way. You're alive in
I mean, if
people's memories.
you
So even
if you
that is
think
a
like that,
very interesting
then
concept.
we are all immortals then, right? Because like our memories or like our thoughts, our videos, audios, like these are imprint. These are
Yeah.
digital imprints. You can actually create a robot which would actually look like us, feed us this like our post or our videos, and they will behave like us in a sense. Have you seen
Yeah.
that Black Mirror episode, right? San Junipero. What was the name?
Yeah. San Junipero.
San Junipero. Yeah. You can replicate our thoughts, or replicate a human being also.
No, no,
So
it
maybe like
wasn't
we are
replicated.
already immortal.
No, no, no. It was like they were uploading their consciousness into a supercomputer, so that so they keep living their lives
For
again
yeah,
and
so
again.
if we can, so this Elon is already working on this Neuralink, right? So you can link your brain. I mean,
Mm.
it's very early stages, but
Mm.
imagine if you were able to, like, whatever your mind is capable of, you're able to transmit that to a computer, and when you're dead, somebody can put that data, that stream into a robot, and it would behave just like you. Then would you be actually dead? Because your mind is still like out there in the world.
Mm.
I don't know what to call it. The robot would be talking just like me. It will have
Mm.
mannerism just like me. Physical
Mm.
physical, mental, emotional responses just like me.
Hmm.
It's very like trippy to think about these things, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about life, life is just, we interacting with the world with the
Consciousness, you
senses,
can say that.
consciousness. Yeah. Maybe there is no
Yeah,
world. Maybe nothing is real, right? We are just somewhere
maybe
in a
nothing is
big
real.
simulation. So death might be
Again,
the
yeah.
actual life and all. So there is like lot of philosophy, lot of concepts that is beyond our comprehension. Because our life can be just, it's like me
It,
seeing you. That is my life. Me seeing
yeah,
people around me. Like what is happening in Africa or like any other country or nothing affects because it's just like what we're listening. Like we are not actually interacting, right? If you understand my point. Like our life is technically our experiences from our senses, five senses,
surroundings or
well, yeah,
yeah.
our surroundings. So if we can replicate those, sensory attachment, sensory experience on a computer, then we
I
might
mean,
never die.
you have
And
played
that is the whole
GTA, right?
concept of Matrix also. So Matrix
Yeah,
2.
yeah. No, so like you have played GTA, right? GTA Vice City, GTA San Andreas. Like
Yeah.
imagine you are that character,
Hmm.
and that character is doing everything in his life, and he dies, but he respawns, right? So imagine like we are also, this is a, you can't, nobody can dispute or like prove this like this what do you say, like this is an
Hmm.
idea, like we are living in a simulation and this event has already happened.
Hmm.
Like our death, we might respawn,
Hmm.
like somebody is controlling us, there is, you can't disprove that point. You don't,
Hmm.
nobody can disprove that point. That is a
Okay.
possibility.
Yeah. There is another interesting web series, no? Best World. I think you watched it.
Yeah, yeah.
So it is
Amazing
also
first season
similar.
ever. Yeah,
Yes. We okay. I
we
watched
used
the
to.
Gaudiya.
Sorry,
Best
you watched
season
what?
one, season two, both are good. But anyway,
Yeah,
even that is like very similar point. Like there are like those humanoids who are living. I mean, how to say like
just like humans
they're
they are living.
technically living the same life again and
They
again on
don't
a
know.
globe.
They don't know that they are not human.
Huh. That is
Like, do
one
you
thing.
know
And
at this
second,
point you are not a robot?
sorry, what? Am I a robot? I
Yeah.
do
Do you
pass
know
my
that? Are you
captcha.
not a robot?
I passed those text captchas, bro.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Hmm.
Sorry, you were saying something about season Westworld.
So even that kind of creates a like a very different perspective on how we perceive life because technically they were living technically, but for
Yeah.
outsiders they were not living, they were just robots. So how do you actually like how do you distinguish because actual living and uh, fake living, whatever? Because I think one of the major concepts that they brought was they didn't have memories or remnants of
Yeah.
memories. Like every time they started as a new person, they had some
Yeah.
inbuilt foundation memories, but they didn't have memories of how their previous version was killed by some outsider or
We
what
also
happened
don't
to
have
that
that.
previous version. Yeah, so
We if rebirth is real, we also don't have any impressions of our past lives.
so you think that we had previous versions of ourselves in previous eras?
If you believe in like at least Hindu ancient texts, like there is a
Hmm.
soul, you the soul just exchanges body to body. So, but
Mhm.
maybe
You
there's a
know,
reset.
I think this all of this thing is like coping mechanism. We want to believe that we would be mortal, we will stay immortal in some way or the other by
I will love
afterlife.
you even after death till
Hmm.
eternity, like the
Yeah,
marriage
this
vows,
whole
right?
thing of soul and all. I think it's all a
Seven
coping
सात
mechanism.
जन्म का रिश्ता. Yeah.
Hmm. I think it's all a coping mechanism. We are kind of escape. We are trying to escape from the actual reality that after that there is nothing, nothing. Like
I mean,
your thoughts and all everything, nothing would be there. Like there is nothing. Like you,
I
and
think you
that's
have
why
brought up an
every
interesting.
that's why
Go ahead,
every
go ahead.
second is important. Like this second that we're passing, every second that we're passing, we can't get back. We can't say, okay, afterlife kuch hoga, something. We, as a soul, will do something. Nothing. It's all coping mechanism. There is, we should get it down as like deep as possible in our hearts that our life is very short, temporary. The time will pass so quickly, and everything else is just a coping mechanism. All that like subconscious, conscious, ghost,
No,
afterlife,
no,
before life, soul, paranormal activities. Everything else is coping mechanism.
no, no. I think you brought up you opened a Pandora box. But before that, there's a
Hmm.
quote: "Death is a challenge." That is
Hmm.
the challenge. It tells us not to waste time. It's a challenge. Just not do not waste. Not to waste your time, but you still do it anyway. Now this coping mechanism, right? Like imagine a lot of people have this. Whenever something bad happens, so like they are going through something, they have this hope in God, or like some people do good things because I will go to heaven. There's an afterthought. Okay, even after being dead, I
Hmm.
I should do good things in my life because I might go to heaven. That are also
Hmm.
coping mechanism, like, or even to go to hell also, like, these are all coping mechanism to do good or bad things.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mm, no, I don't think. I mean, that is part of coping mechanism, but it also creates an accountability because when you believe in God, you believe in a person watching. So it's like, for example, if you have already have some like in mind that okay, someone is watching, it is more likely that you would do right things on the right things
You
rather than
behave, you behave,
you behave
you
basically.
behave in a, yeah.
Yeah, for example, if
Hmm.
in a classroom you tell the students that we have a CCTV camera, then students would behave. I would like even though
But do
that
you think
camera is not working.
camera is broken? Camera does not exist. It's only fictional.
Yeah, yeah, yes.
Do you
But
think
even
like
then,
if
but
most
even then,
people
the student would probably behave. Yeah.
so do you think if like people, if everybody believe like there is no God, then do you think people would be this nice, or like there would be order in the world, or would there be like chaos?
Then
It
there will
would be
be full
chaotic.
chaos, full chaos, degeneracy. That's why a lot of your traditional people, conservative people are trying to impose and bringing God back. There is a culture of aestheticism, atheism right now,
Hmm.
but people are bringing gods back into their lives. By bringing God, they're probably bringing good habits into lives, good way of. I mean, there is a lot of degeneracy going on because of godlessness.
That's true. That's true. So, I mean, let's take a little fun break. So, what are the most fun? I should not say the word fun. Or what are the most memorable deaths you have seen on like popular culture, like TVs or movies? Some of them that
Most
you could
popular
remember, and
deaths.
yeah,
Why,
like most memorable, like or most like traumatic that affected you. Like you're like, what the fuck?
most
So give
tragic.
me like your top three or
Most
top
tragic.
five. Yeah, tragic or like whatever most memorable. If you can say it memorable,
I top.
somebody
Whenever
died.
I can't even remember one, but I mean, please you go first. I mean, I'll
You
think
can't
probably.
remember one. So you have seen Breaking Bad, right? So that episode of like season 4 or season 5, forgot, when Hank dies. Like when Hank,
Okay, I haven't
spoiler
watched,
alert,
but okay.
spoiler alert, sorry, spoiler. Or like, I mean, maybe it would not make sense to me now, but like, in Titanic, Jack died. That's
Okay.
also like very significant in like modern
Hmm.
cinema, or like not modern cinema, any
Hmm.
cinema.
Yeah.
Or if you say, what are the most, Tony Stark in Avengers? I got
Yeah.
little emotional,
Yeah.
little emotional. I mean, it was like
No,
pretty.
definitely. I mean,
It was
people
surprising.
who were watching Marvels for so long, they must be very emotional.
Yeah, and what more is coming to my mind? So there is this, I think, there's this Bengali movie. It's very famous, Pather Panchali, right? So
Hmm.
there's a scene where like Durga, the daughter, she dies. I think that affected me for it. I think for a good 2 weeks.
Hmm.
So that scene, like I was not able to. I was constantly thinking, oh my God, like how could you kill a child? Like killing a child is considered a very cheap move, and
Yeah,
like or
yeah.
doing something to a child is like a
True, true.
easy sympathy. But that scene is very like it's shot very like very like beautifully, like so that affected me a lot. So Similarly, like now, you do you have some ideas what I'm asking about? Anyone, any you might remember?
I think it's more. I mean, it's more traumatizing to listen about deaths which have happened in real. So, I
Okay, tell me something. People who have died in real life, who most memorable,
not memorable, but one that comes to
traumatic.
mind, which were very impactful. At least when I was young. One was, that Nirbhaya case that happened in Delhi.
Oh,
So
yeah, that
that,
shook the entire nation. I mean, yeah, that's
yeah,
pretty.
yeah, that was very horrific incident, and that was during, like, we were young only, so that was a very horrific experience. Secondly, I would say, uh, um, I read actually. So it is not a particular death, but it's not story, but it's an actual written evidence. So there was this civil war in, I think, one of the African countries, and what happened was the country which kind of won the riots. What they did was they captured these village children, people, and you have heard about these war crimes and all,
I understood.
genocide
Yeah, yeah,
happen,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
genocides happen and all. So they used to hold the children, and they would like swing them, and like, okay, I think
Yo,
I shouldn't
yo, what
say
the
that, but
fuck, bro? What? What
yes,
the
you should
fuck?
read, like, you
Swing
should
them
read about
where?
this.
In a fire? In a fire pit? Like
No,
where?
no, fire. uh,
Just anywhere.
tree, nothing.
Yo,
I won't say
that's
it.
crazy, man.
It's
I
very
mean, that's
brutal and
pretty.
all. And
I mean, yeah, that it used
and
to
the
be like
worst part is
people.
their kids.
I mean, you shouldn't do that
That's
to
fucked.
anyone, but especially kids. Like that's fucked up.
Yes,
I
yes. So
mean,
those kind of, and I read them because I had to read, like, world history and all. So I had to read those parts as well. And
I
another
mean,
death that
Holocaust
comes
also,
to,
right? Even Holocaust, right?
oh yeah,
The entire
definitely, yes. Those
that
deaths.
that movie. The what is I'm forgetting the name of the movie. What is the movie of in black and white?
Uh,
Oh my
Array,
God.
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List. That scene, the scene, like you think, okay, this is going to hit you, okay, like when they literally dump the bodies and they just lit fire. The scene hits you, like you just realize, oh my God, how much like what people went through, like you can't even comprehend. So
Yes. Yeah, so these, like, are very tragic. I mean, tragic events. I haven't seen a death happen, uh, like, through my naked eyes. Like, I haven't seen.
So, I mean, now, I mean, there are very different types of death, right? There's a
Mhm.
physiological death, like you're actually dead. But what do you think there might be some other types of death, people one might experience in their lifetime, like a mental death or, like a emotional death? Like you said, like, I'm alive, but I'm not alive, like, मैं तो बस जिंदा हूँ, there is no like life in me. I'm forgetting that phrase, like that शेर या that शायरी, not शायरी, that line. मतलब you're just living for the sake of living. You're not actually
Mhm.
enjoying it.
Mhm.
Even like you can think about breakups, right? Even
Yeah.
breakups are kind of, it is a death, and
Mhm.
like for you, I mean, maybe right now it is possible for people to like reach out, like,
Mhm.
or you can stalk. But I mean,
Yeah.
like 150, 150 years ago, I don't know if people had breakups back then. I don't know if those concepts exist. But like for you, that person is dead. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
if you're
That
yeah,
idea of that person in your head is dead.
and it's I feel like it is even more traumatic than an actual death, because that person is alive for everyone else in the world. He or she is not alive just for you. Like
Shit.
that is actually pretty fucked up when you think about it. So yeah, I mean, so breakups are pretty hard. Okay, that's a separate. This is a separate podcast. Multiple episodes on love, breakup,
We'll go through breakups
attraction.
on other on
Yeah,
other
we have a
podcast.
lot to talk about.
Yeah,
We have a lot to talk about, sir.
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean,
So,
I think just touching on your point, I think emotional death. I think again, like we said, it's about optimism. You have to. Death is easy. You can always choose to just don't do anything and just die. But it takes effort, bring back yourself to life. You can go through, periods of so-called death, where like when we used to have very tough times. We both have gone through tough times, and we remember that our best achievement was to just going through that day. That I would call my friend that, chalo, I like today with all that pain in my heart, I was able to withstand, and I'm able to go to bed. That another day has passed. Another day I survived, in hope that that pain would subside, and then I will be able to be happy again, be in my elements again. And same with, I think,
I
you as well.
mean, there's a quote I just read somewhere like, death is not the greatest loss of life. The greatest loss is like what dies inside us while we live, you know. So we should always aspire to, like
Shit.
yeah,
Bars, bro.
I read, I have too much quotes. So, I mean, what you even on the touching on the same topic, right? Do you think there is? I feel like, like this idea of escapism. Some people just, some people who just took sannyas. Sannyas. I don't know what is the meaning of sannyas. Like you just cut off. They don't give a fuck, or like they just go to,
From
just
material world.
leave their, they just leave the real world and go to like mountains. Do you
Hmm.
think that that's like a sort of like a like a cowardly act, or like do you think, because do you think there is beauty in like facing the challenges of life, what life throws at you, and then overcoming that? What do you think? Like, just you just, okay, I don't give a fuck. I am done with this life. I'm done with this job. Done with my children, wife. I am leaving everything, starting a new life, living in mountains for myself, whatever. Or you like, oh no, no, I will, whatever challenges that I have, I will like, I will push myself, I'll get over this, I'll make my life better. So what do you think about this?
I would like, personally, I hold these, like enlightenment finding people on very high regard. So I would
Right?
like to believe that they are not trying to,
Be a
have a
coward.
coping mechanism or something from
Yeah.
material world or from the challenges. Rather, they are going for some pursuit of their own curiosity of how far human consciousness can go. They have some belief regarding human consciousness in a micro level, and whole like humanity's consciousness on a macro level, and they want to achieve that connection with that consciousness, both the consciousness, and in pursuit of that they are probably going in a space where there is no disturbance, there's no noise, there's no distractions from material world. So they are probably going in that kind of meditative place. I would like to think so in that way.
No,
That
I would
they,
agree
they
with you, and I would, I would agree with you if they are doing that too, okay, maybe I need to find the meaning of life, or like I need to do
Hmm,
something, like,
hmm,
like Buddha, like
hmm.
I'm
I was
I'm
coming
pretty
for
sure
Buddha
this.
only, yeah, because he
Yeah,
doesn't
okay.
have any challenges, no, like he's living his
Yeah, he has no
best life.
challenges. Yeah,
Yeah, he's the king, but still he chose to take sannyas and all. So
but
what can
but
be the reason?
but do you know the after story of that? When he got enlightened, he
Hmm,
then came back to his kingdom, right? And then he apologized to his wife that
hmm.
I did not need to leave you for me to achieve my enlightenment. So
Okay.
that's what he said. Yeah,
Hmm,
like I did not, like that was very irresponsible of me to leave my entire kingdom like without a king. Like they just like, do you do whatever. I'm going for my personal enlightenment. He just said whatever you have to do personally, that can still be done while you are doing your like living your responsibilities, doing your duties. So you don't need to
hmm,
like just cut off from the, we are a social creature.
Mm.
right? So you need to completely cut off from that, right? This
Mm.
I'm saying this to apply. It also applies to us. Maybe we need to be a little more social and not like get
Yeah,
like
we are
cut off
so
from the world
antisocial.
completely.
We are sociopaths in the making. Yeah,
I
but I think
mean,
again, like you said, no, I think sorry, what is saying? Great people, when they have to achieve something very of higher standard, lot of times they have to make sacrifice and they choose to sacrifice their families and all for that pursuit.
yeah,
I think people who have only success in mind, or not success, but like some purpose in life. So I think a lot of times they make that sacrifice. Even we don't know how Tesla was with his family, or
right.
how Einstein was with his family. We don't know, but it must be very tough for their families to see this guy taking only focusing more on his work, focusing more on his research rather than taking care of his loved ones, his parents, wife, spouse, children. So it would be tough, yeah. But I think you have to be
Okay.
selfish sometimes if you have to achieve something. I'm strong proponent of that. If
I mean,
people
yeah,
can
I
balance.
was no, I was listening to this podcast, Modern Wisdom, with I think Alex Hamrosi. I forgot. I'm maybe butchering
Alex
his name.
Hormozy,
Hormozy, whatever, the gym guy, whatever. I think that you
not a
recommend. So he's just on the same topic, right? Like
mm,
he said, like what whoever disagrees with you or agrees with you, or
mm,
whoever opinion you think are you consider their opinion, or whoever opinion you reject, they will
mm.
all of those people will be dead within like 3 generations. So like
Yes.
there is no point, like you said, like be selfish. Like you have
Mm,
to decide for ultimately you have to decide for yourself. You
yeah.
can't ever blame anyone else or like take. You can probably listen to people, but
Mm,
you don't let like other people control your life. You
yeah.
have to say, okay, if I'm doing this,
Yeah.
then it is ultimately my decision, because it doesn't
Yes.
matter. That's the whole point. That if you this podcast is a total waste of time if you're listening. The whole point of this podcast is to it does not really matter. Do what you want anyway. That's a one. That's like a YouTube short. If we
Yeah.
ever make a YouTube short of this podcast, that's it. That's the clip. It doesn't matter. Do what you want anyway. It would not matter anyway. So that's it.
Yeah, and again, coming back to Gautam Buddha, I think if he hadn't gone for that enlightenment thing and all, I think he would always have resentment towards his wife. He would have
Maybe,
always
maybe.
blamed throughout his life his wife that because of you, because of your, not because of you, but like in general because of you, I
He
was
will have
my.
that. First of all, he wouldn't be Buddha anyway. We may not know about
Ah,
him at all.
yeah, he would have been
We may
just
not
one of.
know. So
Yeah.
that's kind of paradoxical.
Yeah, we
So
we won't
okay,
think, but it's his life that matters. So
it's his life.
throughout his life, every day when he would have woken up in beside her, he would have regretted every single day waking beside her because he
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
go towards his path. So in the end, it's his life that matters, and I'm glad that he did that, not because it brought out this Buddhism and all, which affected us, but because he was true to his own life, his own inner calling.
So I think now you've talked about regret. So like even this also we should talk about a little bit, because how, like if you see I like to a lot of time I like to listen to or watch old people's interviews, okay, on YouTube. So right. So people just Arey, why? Like because I just want to listen. I'm not watching old people's porn, Rakshat, okay?
Okay.
That I only watch. I have a specific category for that. Anyway, so
Shit.
I'm saying
Keep it PG. Keep it PG.
keep it PG, keep it PG. Okay, okay. So what I'm saying is, like, if you listen to those old people's interviews, you will ask them, what do you regret most? So what you were
Mm,
saying, right? Like, oh, I did not go for my masters. Okay, I did not marry this girl because this and this. My mom told me she's not right for you, or I did not I did not quit my job to find this. I wanted to do this, but I had to quit my job. I had a family to support. Then they say, okay, no, I think I would have managed. I should have tried. So the window of opportunity is very short, right? Again,
yeah.
like it is life is limited. So then you will have regrets. But the only good thing about it, it wouldn't matter anyway. So you just, you know, do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a quote that you should choose your regrets.
Oh my God. Oh wow.
You should choose your
Yeah.
regrets with which you want to live for the rest of your life.
You can't. I think the full
Because
full
there is
quote is, you
always
can't
regret on either side.
escape regrets. Yeah, you can't escape regrets, but you should choose what you live with. So
Hmm.
now, do you think there are some regrets that you are not happy to, or you can't cope with? I will not ask you to name them, but do you
Uh,
think they exist?
obviously,
Obviously, I
1,000%.
think we all do. We all do.
1,000%. I have so many regrets.
Yeah.
But I think
But the
sometimes
idea is to not
life
make,
gives
not
you
create new
knowledge.
regrets.
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to, because we are conditioned in that way to, always take the safest option. So in a way,
Yeah.
you have to
True.
train your mind to create that mindset to, take the difficult decisions quickly. Another thing is, one thing is, taking always the safest decision, and secondly is not taking any decision at all. We keep procrastinating. Okay, we'll decide out later. But the thing is, that also creates stress, and that is also kind of, you know, that is also regretting. Like, you are taking a lot of time in making that decision, which you could have taken a lot of time back. Like, for example, breaking up, or breaking the marriage, or switching another job, whatever, like
Yeah.
a lot of life decisions. The more you delay, the more you are making your life worse. And then once you actually get out of it, then you will think, why didn't I do it like
Why didn't
years
I do
back?
this earlier? Why didn't I do
So
this
that is
earlier?
also
Yeah.
regret. That is also regret.
That is
So
also
everything
regret. But again,
everything has an opportunity cost.
it again ties back to the concept of death, right? Like, you're thinking, oh my God, if I, maybe you have this fear, if I, like breaking up a marriage, right? If I, maybe, what if I want to break this marriage, but if I break it, then what will happen? Maybe my life will go haywire. Like, I wouldn't even have the stability that I have now. And then you will just keep on going through that struggle, constant struggle, and then you
Hmm.
die.
Hmm.
So
That is a self-esteem problem, because you don't believe in yourself that you can live without any partner, or that you cannot find another suitable partner. That's a self-esteem problem.
true, true. Yeah, nobody's. I'm not good enough for anyone. Who
Yeah,
will love me?
who will take
This is
me?
my, you are the only person who loved me. So, oh my God, even though you are like so toxic to me, I should stick with you,
Hmm.
right?
Like,
Yeah,
there are only two reasons: either self-esteem, or like you are more worried about what other people would think. So these two are the
that is the
main.
worst.
Yeah.
That is the worst. Living your life by thinking what other people will think is the worst. I think probably one of the worst ways to live your life. I mean, we all
True.
have done it. Nobody is. We
Yeah,
will probably do it in future also. But
yeah.
the idea is to do it as little as
Hmm.
possible. Like,
Yes.
get
It's it's
take
an it's
control
a
of your mind and life.
hmm. It's an evolutionary trait mostly, like, because we
True.
are a
Yeah.
social animal, so we have to somewhat think of repercussions and consequences of how other people would react to it. But at the same time, the most riskiest things gives most rewards, and usually the riskiest things are the ones which, nobody would be thinking, or would be very opposite to what, average person would be thinking. So taking those high
Yeah.
risks would eventually benefit.
Okay. So this, I always think about this topic a lot. Like, when you're about to die, okay,
Hmm.
like nobody has ever recorded it, or maybe people have recorded death, but how would it feel the moment that I'm about to die? Like, some people say, like, oh, maybe I saw, some people who's claim I was they died and they went to hell or heaven and they came back to life. These people are fucking
What?
lying clearly. Okay, so there's some people claim, okay, I was dead for 5 minutes, so they were not actually dead. I don't take their whatever
Uh,
their claim
fake death.
seriously, but like, I want to use your imagination of how it would feel at the moment of a death. Like, what thoughts will come to your mind, or is it, would you even know this is the last moment when would you know that I'm about to die? Like, this is it. Like in movies, people like, okay, my time has come. Okay, like emotionally people say to like their relatives, but how would it actually feel at the point of death, at the moment of death?
I think a lot of it depends. I think from what I've seen in the movies and whatever, I think first of all, you would know that you're very close to your death, right? And then you call your whatever your sons, your daughters, your children, your family, close members, come, come, come. I'm not a long-staying guest right now. And I think secondly, I would feel that first of all, body-wise, you'll be feeling a lot of pain, but it happens with every time that you keep getting used to that pain, but this time the pain would be so much, like you will be clinging to the life. You can choose to keep clinging, but that would be very painful because it would sustain that pain. And you can choose to leave that life, like this, like you're clinging to that like a
So you're
rope.
saying you're saying there would be like a moment of choice. Maybe you think you have a choice, but you may like in all possibility may not have a choice, but the life or the death will make you think, okay, you have a choice, but you won't be able to choose it. You won't be able to choose life at that point. You will have
No,
to
no,
let
it
go.
won't. It won't be choice, but it would be like delaying the inevitable. So they will be probably like trying to just, I don't know, like probably it would be like they're just holding the like last straws of whatever they can hold. Just like the sand is dropping from their hands, but they're trying to keep hold of whatever remaining sand is, like that kind of thing. They're just delaying the inevitable. They're just trying hard to take one more breath, staying a bit more alive so that they can remember those memories and they can speak to every person who are around him or her to tell them that
I mean,
I felt that way, I feel, or
what
whatever.
would you remember at a moment of your death? Like, is it a
My
person?
life,
Is it a
my
event?
experiences.
Yeah,
I'll
but
remember
you have so
you.
many experiences.
I'll
But
remember you. I'll remember this podcast. Second life.
no, like imagine like you have like a 5 second window and you have to compress the entire activities of your life. Like
I
it's like
don't
a
think it would be
1,000.
5 seconds.
I'm giving you a timeline. Listen, it's like you are compressing all the events of your life. You're playing that video like 1 million x super fast, like a flash of like it's
Yeah,
like a it will
right.
create like a spectrum. So do
Yeah.
you know like I don't want you to answer it, but like if let's say if you have to die right now, let's say in next 5 seconds you will die. Do you know what five things or what five persons, activities, memories would come to your mind at this point of time? I just want you to. I want if anyone is listening, I want you
Yeah.
to close your eyes and imagine you are going to die for
Damn.
5 seconds and think about the top five things or top five thoughts. I would say thoughts or memories that would come to your brain. Do you know what those five are?
First, you
It's
tell.
you
No,
can't even choose it. No.
you
You
tell.
don't have to tell it.
Okay.
I'm not asking you to tell it. I'm only asking you to
Oh,
internalize it. That would make probably that would give you a perspective. Okay, maybe I should talk to this person more, or maybe I should do this activity more, or like it's that is like it's a motivator, right? So you
yeah.
can use it. Like, okay, maybe I should have talked. If like it's like a parent. Okay, oh shit, maybe I should talk. Maybe I should call my mom or dad more often, like at least once a week or twice a week, thrice a week, whatever suits your busy life, your modern busy life.
Yeah.
So I want everyone to think that like what are the top five thoughts or memories that will come to your brain if you have to die right now and you only have 5 seconds. So very interesting exercise. Are you internalizing it right now?
It's actually tough because I'm actually very focused on the podcast. So I think it would take a bit of, like I'll have to sit down somewhere in solitude
Yeah.
and just think to myself. Definitely my parents would come, I would think so. And probably by the time I would die, I'll have like good amount of children, my own children.
Good amount. What do you mean by good amount? Good amount, bro. This is not a thing. You need another person to create them, at least for now.
I'll take care of that. Don't worry.
Okay. So okay,
Finding
another
moms
like
is least of my concern.
that's not a problem at all, huh?
Yeah. I have 99 problems, but that ain't
Finding
one.
moms and one. Are you talking about MILFs or are you
I
actually
mean,
talking about mothers?
sugar mamas.
You want sugar mamas, okay? All right. I mean, you might actually get some sugar mamas if you want. Like I mean, come on. Okay, anyway, so another thing related to death. Like in movies or in real life, whenever a person is dying, they say, okay, they will ask him something, okay, tell me where the fucking treasure is, or where is the money, so, and or like, what did you do in your life? So there is a notion that the person who is dying never lies. Do you think that is true? Like somebody who's dying would never lie.
Yeah, probably yes, because when you are lying, then you have something to lose. You only lie when
True.
you have something to lose. When you are dying, you have nothing to lose. So then why you will lie?
No, no, but what if like that? What if like you are like a president of United States, and
I mean,
what
yeah,
if you
just now,
might lie?
if that person thinks that that person has something to lose even after their death, then they will lie.
Then you lie. So it's not like
For
always a
example,
given that
suppose I'll give you a scenario. Suppose uh, you are my friend, right, Alok? If
right.
I'm kept on my gunpoint, right, and I'm close to death, and they ask where is Alok so that I can kill him. Now, then obviously I'll lie. I'll protect you, bro.
I
I'll lie
want you to
that
tell.
he's.
No. I would like you to tell them. So I also die, and then we create this podcast in heaven, bro. Like, why should the people in heaven not have fun? They should also be enlightened, and I don't know.
What the fuck? No, bro. That doesn't how it works. I want you to live after I die so that you carry on my legacy, carry on
Like,
this podcast. You know,
you're talking like I'm your illegitimate son, and I have to somehow like make it up to
and
you. Carry on your fucking legacy, bitch.
we both have that obligation for each other. Not
I know.
obligation, but just a goodwill. I was asked. I was asking, have you had any near-death experiences in your life, and
You
how
know,
was that experience? If you want to share.
I mean, like like how people who make use of that astrologers, right? Like, oh, they see your hand and they're like, I think you were very close to dying, and everybody is like, oh yes, I was so close to dying. Bitch, everybody was close to dying at some point of time. They just take advantage of you. This is bullshit, man. This always pisses me off. Like, and people like innocent people, they just get trapped so easily
No,
to like these astrologers.
no, like
Like,
when you
yeah,
knew that you were close to die. Like for example, okay, I'll give you an example. I was close to dying when I was drowning in a swimming pool. So that is my near-death experience. One. There have been few other as well, but I won't probably say them. I'm just giving an example. So that was an experience. Like I remember that I drank so much water of that. Like I kept going in, but somehow I kept going up, then going in, then going up, then going in, then going up.
where you were swimming? I don't know the
Then swimming
story,
pool. Yeah, I was very young.
bitch.
I
But
was like,
you were not alone, right? I mean, you
oh,
had
yeah,
somebody
I
to
was
take
not
look
alone.
after you.
I was not alone, but
So,
I was always scared of water. So,
I mean, I have water phobia even
like
now.
Hrithik Roshan in Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, I was that scared.
Okay, I was not expecting that you have seen that movie, but maybe in your past life, you saw that movie. This is your second life, right? I mean, in your first life, you saw that. That was not your mistake. It's those are forgiven. Okay,
I'll tell you a story. Not a story, but it
okay,
was a general feeling that when I was very low mentally during my travels. So I had
okay.
this thing of taking super high risk. I've told this story to my friend, one of my friend, Kush,
Okay.
right? So I used
Yeah.
to tell him that I those were the times when I was so low in like mentally that I was I had given up on the fear of death.
Yeah, I mean, I am in the same. I would not know how mentally low I am, but let's say if you're flying in a plane, okay, I give
Mm.
you the scenario. Let's say if you are flying in a plane and there
Yeah.
is some turbulence, okay. Imagine like you are first time flying or second or third time. Like
Mm.
you are scared of turbulence. If you like a frequent flyer, you were like, okay, this it will go away. You need to have some fear of this plane going down. So like a
Mm.
lot of people they start praying. Even I would argue like a lot of atheists, maybe not atheists, but at least agnostic people, they will like they'll do something. Oh my god, like nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't know
Yeah.
they don't even know who they are praying to. They will have this notion of praying. But you know what? Like I was just traveling to a flight like recently. I didn't give a fuck. I
Mm.
was okay with I was okay with this plane be going down. Like if the plane went
Damn.
down, I was okay with that.
Ah,
I did
yeah,
not
yeah,
care.
exactly.
Obviously,
Mm.
I don't want to die.
Mm.
Obviously, I don't want to die. But if it is going to die, it's okay. Like I didn't have that fear. Oh my
Yeah.
god, like oh shit, please, 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 you know.
So
So
can you elaborate on why you didn't have fear only that particular time, or in general? Like,
no, no, no,
if
no. So it is like a
now you
it
sit
is
on a plane,
evol
would you?
no, no, no. It is evolutionary. Like no, now I will not have that fear anymore throughout my life now.
Okay, okay,
Okay,
that is
so
different. Okay, I was saying something different. That was because I was so mentally low that I had given up on life in some sense. That I was more than welcoming of that idea of death. Like it. So basically, I used to, go out at around 2, 3 a.m. and I was on my two-wheeler in a rainy day, rainy night.
oh yeah, I remember. I
You
remember.
remember,
Yes,
right?
those
I
stories.
told you.
I
So
remember
it
those
was a
stories. Yeah.
rainy night. There was the visibility was as far as the distance between me and the camera right now.
You
It
are
was
okay
that
with being
far.
hit by a truck. If
Yeah,
a
I
truck
was I
hits me,
was
it hits
completely
me.
fine. So I was traveling on those hilly areas by myself. There was no, like, have you seen like pitch darkness? Like there is no
Yeah.
sense of, there is no sign of civilization there all across. It was full foresty and hilly. That that circular that roads are there, no, like on the hills. It was like that. So it was a highway like on the hills. It was curves. There were cliffs, and I could have fallen anytime because it was in like northeast, so there was like no traffic, street lights and all. So there was no light, no rain, and by some, like, God's grace, I came out alive. Another time I went to some random forest, stayed there alone by myself. And when I told this to my friend, I was like super crazy. I stayed in the forest. That was so cool. But then he told me, how fucked up that sounds. You could have actually died living in a forest. And then I realized, oh
Yeah.
shit, I was so chill about dying. So that was something that was very fucked up. I mean, I'm just keeping it very brief. I mean, a lot of things happened, a lot of things I did, which I couldn't have thought of doing when I was saner. But the fact that I was growing insane that time, I just lost the fear of death, which is um, a very fearful, very strange place to be. Like, I don't think you would want.
So
You should have fear, basically. Fear is a very
you should have
important
little
element
fear.
of your life. Yes.
You should have little
Wow,
fear.
I was growing insane that time, so it was a very fucked up situation.
So that's not the case now, right? I mean, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't like drive a scooty in rain, like when there is no visibility and there's high chance of you actually being
Yeah,
dead. You wouldn't do it now,
yeah.
right?
I could have fallen off cliff, no? Like there was zero visibility. I could have just gone off the road, like randomly, and just gone. It was raining also, so it was skidding and all. It
I
was
mean, the
like,
idea is good. The idea
hmm,
is good. Like you should not fear death per se, but like you shouldn't do activities which will lead to your death immediately,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
right?
funny thing is, it was, now that I look back, it's a very interesting, very fun experience that I can, tell stories about. But but also on other side, I was so close to death. It would have taken this, like this, to be dead. It was
Yeah.
like I was not trying to suicide, but it was like I was welcoming death. Like if death
You are
happens
okay
today,
with
it was like, okay,
if
yeah.
you are okay with assisted suicide. It
Hmm.
was kind of you were giving yourself assist,
I'll,
not
I'll give an
intentionally.
example. Hmm.
Yeah.
I'll give an example. Like have you seen like how girls try to hit on boys? They don't overtly tell you that you're handsome, or I like you. They'll try to be in your periphery, or they'll try to strike conversation high like that. That shows that they're interested somewhere, right? They're dropping hints. So mine was like that. I was not trying to
You're dropping
actively
hints to
decide,
nature.
but I
Please
was
kill me.
trying. I was trying peripheral, like, okay, I'm there, yeah, like I'm openly welcoming. So that was kind of very fucked up
But I'm
something.
happy that you're not dead because this, at least I wanted to make this podcast.
Oh,
So
see, things
uh,
have happened. So
things always work out. Things always work out. You always find.
I think sometimes when you're close to death, you find actual meaning of life. I mean, I think that was the point from where I kind like we kind of like it's like a butterfly effect. Like those things happened, then that's why I'm in Bangalore right now, and you get it right, and that's why this podcast is happening. So everything has a
I
meaning in
mean,
there.
yeah, true. I think everything
Same
is
with you
connected
as
in
well.
life.
You
True.
have also gone through it. Imagine if what you think that time was so wrong happened to you. What if it didn't
Yeah,
happen? Probably this won't be happening. So I think even the
true.
bad things have something very important to it's a very
Again, like
understanding, right?
it again circles back to the initial point. Like no matter
Mm.
how bad life is, it is still worth living, right?
Wow. Yes.
I mean, yeah, like that's because again, it doesn't matter, what no matter what happens to you, you should always try to like, move forward and good things, I'm putting good in quotes, good things will happen to you. अच्छे दिन आएंगे. Good days will
True, true,
come.
definitely. You have to be optimistic. Like that's life. You have to be optimistic. Like imagine a doctor who is chasing immortality. What would you say to him? Is it ethical?
So,
Is it
but
non-ethical? Is it futile? Is it like why even he is doing, or maybe like he might make the greatest invention ever. He might change the course of humanity. This might be a watershed moment. So what do you think?
so first of all, like you said, he's trying to do reverse aging, which is different than being immortal. It is, I think, it
I
is
think his
maybe
purpose.
what they might do is, let's say you die at 90, they may not be able to increase your lifespan. Okay, you'll still die at 90, but the quality of life that you have from 50 to 90 is pretty
Hmm,
bad. So they'll improve on that, like you would have a good quality of life. So I am
true.
okay with if they are doing, that's good, right? I mean, yeah, you should try to have as many moments of fun or as many moments of physical activity,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever, so as long as possible. The idea is to die young as late as possible again, right? So
Mm.
but I don't think he would be able to achieve immortality, because that's even now, whether that goal is futile or not futile, right? Because you said like it would not be fun to not die. So, and I don't know if it is even possible to do it. How? I mean, see, theoretically you could do this, right? We have a this body is a machine, right? It has some. You give it some input. We know everything. Okay, like not everything, but we know okay how the heart works, how the we don't know how the mind works. Like still, we only know like 10-20%. Nobody actually know the true possibilities of mind, but rest of the body parts they know how to fix some, do some surgeries. They can even like people can remove your head also now, like they can, they're growing kids, not like actual human kids, but they're able to like grow kids even without a mother's womb, like they're
Yeah,
people are doing it. So theoretically it seems possible that you can, maybe you can, it's like a shape of Theseus. Okay, what if you keep replacing the parts that are not working in your body, and
yeah.
that you would become immortal, but you would not actually be yourself? What if like everything in your body
I,
was replaced at one point? So would
mm,
would that even be you? Like would it even make sense to call it you? Like imagine
yeah.
you achieved immortality, but you everything was replaced. So would that even make sense, or would it be a new Rakshat, new Rex Bede, a new AK? So it's difficult. Like I don't think ethical and unethical is out of the question. We are no one to judge someone if they are trying to do something, right? But it would be weird to have that. What do you think?
Damn. I mean, it's an interesting pursuit that he's having. I mean, I'm not a person who discourages someone to pursue something which is so.
You don't want to be naysayer, right?
It's not. I mean, there's no point in me discouraging. Like I think a lot of actually findings that he is getting can be applied for in our lives as well to make our lives better, not
Yeah,
necessarily longer.
I hope.
He gives importance to sleep and exercise and posture, which I would like to. I'm not looking for a that one medical pill which would make me immortal for life, but I'm looking for what his observations are in terms of how we can make good habits in life, and I try to as much as possible because honestly, if you read about or see his life, it's very shit. I mean, I wouldn't want to live like that life. Like
Well, is he
after
like a
5 years,
is
and
he
leave.
black person? Is he of African descendant?
No,
Like
no,
his name, Bryan Johnson. Like it seems okay.
no. He's white Caucasian, very much white Caucasian. But the thing is, he has very strict like timelines of how when to sleep, when to eat, when to drink, when to exercise, and I think sometimes human life is also about being flexible and having a sense of like having a margin of errors or whatever. So I
That's
mean,
why we have poetry, art, cinema to
yeah,
enjoy.
yeah.
Life is about creativity. These things should be. I am okay with these things being, like completely automated. Like if something could wake me up, fucking like give me a like every day at 7 a.m. do something in my brain, like even a chemical or like even a switch. I'm okay with that. You
Hmm.
should. I think human life should be. I think there's a quote. I think it's a movie, Goodwill Hunting or something. I have seen. What was the
Hmm.
name of that guy who I think who killed himself by suicide also? He was a comedian. I'm forgetting his name. Very, very good guy. But it's like life is about poetry or like life is about creativity
Robbie
in a
Williams.
sense.
Robbie Williams.
Robin Williams. Yeah, I think I forgot. There's a very nice 3-4 minute sequence. Like like that's the beauty of life. Creating something. Writing
Yeah,
music, doing poetry, singing, dancing. Everything else work. That's just to get on with it. Okay,
yeah. Just for survival.
that's not for survival. Yeah, the the fun lies in doing something creative.
There
So
is
I think we are
survival
doing
and there
something
is
creative.
living.
There's survival and there is.
There is survival and there is living.
Damn. So are you surviving right now or are you living right now?
Both.
Damn. Okay. So this is a very famous quote. Like I think people, the fear of death follows from the fear of life, right? A man who lives fully, a man who lives fully is prepared to die at any point. It's like a Mark Twain quote. So like if you're living every single day as much as you could, like then you wouldn't mind being dead. Because when you think about, okay, I would die, you will think, okay, these things I did not do, I have these things to do.
Ah, yes,
I
yes.
Meko is I should have completed this, I should have done this, I should have done this. So you always have this concept of regrets and like not
The
doing
worst
something
part
instead
of
of
dying is having
you
regret. Yes.
you wouldn't even think about what are the things you actually did do. You wouldn't even They wouldn't even come to your mind. You think, oh shit, I have these many things to do. So
Hmm.
that's why its whole point is to live. I mean, these are the ideals that I don't think anyone would ever reach, but they're still worth like aspiring towards.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, you
no one
cannot
will
be
ever
perfect.
ever yeah, no one would ever be perfect, but yeah. So I mean, the whole point, like you should never. I have a feeling you should never like reach your destination. The
Hmm.
enjoyment comes in the pursuit of destination. Because when you
Yeah.
reach it, now the
Yeah.
when you reach it, you think about in your past life, or anyone who is listening, think about all of the major events that have happened in your life. When they did not happen, you used to think about them so much. Like, oh my,
Hmm.
it could be anything. Your favorite team winning a championship. Okay, you having a baby, you finding a girlfriend for the first time, whatever. When that moment happened, then it just that feeling just goes away. Like it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
Like so there is a famous uh it's a kavita. It was like a poem
Damn.
in Hindi. I am forgetting the name. I think it was in the TV series as TV of Aspirants. Okay. So
Okay.
there is no there is no difference in winning and versus trying to win. Okay. So basically,
Hmm.
even if you lose, but you
Hmm.
give your best, and somebody who has won, there is no difference between you.
Damn.
It could have been anyone. It's just probability, luck. Success is so
Yeah.
much luck. I think you
Hmm.
have seen
True.
that Veritasm video. Success is so much luck. You don't even know how much luck is
Yes.
there in your success. You think, okay, you did it by yourself. You think you did it by yourself. No, you did not do it by yourself. You had so
Yeah.
much luck riding on you.
Yes.
So yeah. So the I think even every day, like when I get up, right, I there are so many things I want to do. At least I have that notion, okay, I mean, I should do it, I should do it. There has never been a day when I have been able to achieve all of those things, because if there I don't think I even want that day to come, because that would be then I might not do anything after that. I'm like, shit, I have achieved like perfection, right?
Hmm.
I think
Okay.
that's very weird.
I'll give you interesting thought experiment.
Yeah.
What if a doctor comes, he takes your blood
Okay.
samples, right, today, okay, tomorrow, and he says that, he has something so that you will die in a month. What will you do? Probably a year.
If
I
I
mean, you can take whatever time difference as you want. But the thing is, you've
no
got a time that, like you will die at this time. Like you have, आपके पास इतना time बचा है. You have this much time left. Let's take 1 month. What will you do? So today
I
is
can't.
1st September. You'll die on 1st October. Gandhi Jayanti. You will die on Gandhi
Would
Jayanti.
someone
First thing I'll think is like my public holidays or
violently or through non-violence? I think I should die not through non-violence at least.
no, I'm saying first thing that will come in my mind is that my one public holiday is gone for waste.
No, you wouldn't have to attend my funeral, you know. Um, I mean, I'm
And
not.
I'm saying about Gandhi Jayanti. Your death won't be a public holiday.
No, for you, at least, bitch, you would come on my like. At least it would be wasted, na? Because I died, so
Obviously, bro, with all my
you would
heart.
have to,
Would
you
you,
have to
okay,
like give
okay,
support to my.
let me say, okay, funeral is one thing, but would you tell me that, I have this doctor who told me I have just 1 month left? Okay, would
I
you
mean,
tell
yeah, I
anyone?
would.
Would you tell anyone? Forget me. Like, would you
True.
tell your parents? Would you tell your siblings or
No, I
cousins?
think I would not tell anyone. I don't think I would
Okay,
tell
yeah.
anyone.
Okay, so that's a start. You won't tell anyone. Only your doctor and you know till the time of death that you were dying. Okay, but you would want to call them when you're dying, no? Like on 2nd of October when you're dying, you would want to call them.
Yeah, I would at least try to like, probably go like, invite as many of people together as possible,
So,
like have a one last
so, so how
last dance.
so how would it be like? It would be like they will be like super happy that like he has called, and suddenly you drop this bomb. By the way, I'm dying. For the
Shit.
point, and they're like, "Is he joking? Is he kidding?" And they're like, "Nah, he's serious." And they will. I mean, they would probably die of heart attack or something. I don't know. I don't want to wish that. I don't say that, but like, it, it's a very interesting thought. Okay, that is one thing. Like you didn't tell your parents whatever. What would you do? Like, would you try to change any regrets? Would you try to I don't know.
You already know what regret I will try to change.
Okay, England. Is it related to England?
No, I
Like
think
Gandhi,
there is
like
no
Gandhi.
point. I think 1 month is too much time for me actually. You should give me
Too
little
much
less.
time. I'm gonna take whatever. Like
You should
that's
give
why
me
I said
little
like take
less.
your own time interval. But I'm giving like enough time. 1 year is okay. 1 month is good enough.
Okay, I think I
One.
would at least tell people, like
Hmm.
how I feel about them or like what they have meant to me or
True.
that I think I will definitely do because I don't think I can do anything. I don't have that much money. Okay, if I was like Bill Gates, I'll probably donate all of my money at this point. Like sell all my fucking share, give this money to some charity. I don't
Okay.
think
Would you would
I
you
can
would
make
you
any
donate? Would you
contributions.
donate or would you keep it for your family? Like you would write your will that after dying, this money would pass to my brother, sister, or
I don't
family.
have like any dependents or such per se, so I think I probably
But
donate
parents,
it at least like 70 to 80%. I will donate it at least,
okay,
you
okay,
know.
good, okay,
Then so
fair enough.
obviously like something you want to keep for your family, right? Or I mean, I will
Obviously.
add nominees. I will add nominees in all my mutual fund,
Mm.
stocks,
Yeah. I
gold.
just recently learned that having nominees is not enough. You should actually write a will, get a will written for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, otherwise you will have see, having a will. Yeah, will supersedes any nominees that you have written.
Yeah. Yeah, just
Maybe
want
I'm
to make
not
clear
legal.
the educational thing in this on this podcast. Get your
Make a
will
will,
done.
make a will, guys.
Yeah.
Get a will done. Yeah, I think we should
Where
have
there's a
a
will, there's a
sponsor.
way.
We-
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. What
I
would you
guess.
do? What would you do if you had 1 month?
So you finish your no, like you. So you're
I
trying to
think
give
yeah, I told
closure.
you.
You're you're giving
Closure.
closure to everyone.
Probably like because I'm going to get closed, right?
Damn,
Oh no.
damn. Uh, like no hard feelings
So
remaining, no
no hard
strings attached.
feelings. Probably yeah.
What about your friends with benefits and all?
क्या पूछ रहा है? Cut it out, cut it out, cut it out, cut it out.
I mean, they should also have some benefits of.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'll give them the one last benefit.
one last dance.
Oh my god.
Bed break
Shit.
dance.
Okay, what about you? What about you?
Damn.
Do I wait? Do I already know what you're going to do? At least one
No,
of
no,
the
no.
things. No, not related. Okay.
Wait. No, no, not that.
No.
It's so closed. No, that's already closed. I told you.
Okay.
It was
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
closed in January only, so I'm done
Close
with that.
and won. And won.
Sorry, what? Yeah, I mean,
You already won. Yeah. Yeah.
one like okay, whatever. But I think I think I have a lot to give to my close circle. So yeah, probably getting getting all the closure done with the family. I don't know when, but I think that
You'll
is the
explain to
most
them
important.
why you don't want to get married. You'll finally give them the answer why I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
married.
I'll probably write it down. I don't think I'm a very good explainer. I think I would be able to explain better when I write things. I'll probably write it in my will. I'll just insert it. Tell my lawyer to just insert it. There are 5 reasons why I don't want to marry. That's separate thing. I mean, ideally, I would want to marry. I would love to marry, but there are things that are not in my control. So that's one thing. Yeah, I mean, mostly it's not about you want to travel the world in those last 30 days or do random shit,
No.
but it's just that you are kind of giving closures to as many people, especially the people whom you know would be most affected by your loss. At least giving them closure, and obviously taking financial care so that my death doesn't become a burden on them. So
That's a bar. That should be used by a term life insurance company. Do not let your death become a burden on your family. Subscribe to our
yeah.
term plan today. You should have a sponsor like Max Life, LIC. This will sponsor us. Like we are actually
This is by the way
this is
unsponsored.
unsponsored. So guys, please take a term life insurance. If you have
Such an
dependents on you,
yeah.
do you have a term life insurance? By the way,
On that note, let's finish
end
this
this.
podcast. End this podcast.
Wow. All right, guys. See you.
Had a great
And-
time podcast. Thanks, Anand,
Yeah.
for inviting me.
And yeah, and live your life the way you want because it doesn't matter.
It's
So
only one life.
on that
One
note,
life, baby.
it's only
One
one
life.
life. All right, guys.